Start the music. Okay. Should be good. Welcome to the stream. What are you sniffing? Hello, welcome to the stream. I did promise you guys another stream after Monday, so of course I have wanted to do a stream tonight, and we'll just be doing like kind of what I was already gonna be doing, where I draw and I talk. So yeah. I hoped I had like drawn it well enough to be able to see the eyes still pretty clearly, because it was really difficult. I definitely had to condense the amount of lines I wanted to use in the phantom eyes, because I felt like it was just gonna be like too much if I added hundreds of lines to the eye. You just wouldn't be able to see any of it. So yeah, I kind of like that. How it turned out. I did have to sacrifice some of the lines, but I think it worked out in the end and it still looks really nice, because of the fact that it just, for design wise, it just probably wouldn't have worked out too well. Phantoms are very fun to draw. That was just kind of a nice little like sketch for our Matthias, but I definitely want to draw him more and get a little bit more of his background, and he shows up pretty late into the story. I would say like quite a few like months down the line before the ghosts even meet him. Like starting at the very beginning of the story when Carter dies, which is usually what I consider to be like the canon start, quote unquote start of the story. That's usually where I like cite where I would want my story to begin. So stuff like that. For sure, I really want to add more for his development and more for his story in the future. But for now, he will eventually meet the ghost. And yeah. I also can't wait to design the moon that a lot of the phantoms live on. Some of them live on the other moons as well. There's not very many people on the moons. Usually people just live on Novotel, but a lot of ghosts who have been there for a long time get very, very bored of Novotel and like to go to other planets. They still stay nearby, though. Yeah, kind of like how tree lines. I think that's a really good way to describe it. Kind of like how the trunk of a tree, you'll look in and see all the lines of like the aging and stuff. I think that's a really good way to describe it, because I feel like that fits really well as like an analogy or comparison for it. Phantoms are for sure very, very old, like thousands, so yeah, it would make sense. They would be kind of like trees, also slow moving, you know. Trees kind of move slowly, phantoms kind of move slowly, you know, stuff like that. Definitely very unique, and one of my favorite aspects of ghosts is drawing and designing them whenever they're really, really old. I have a couple of other phantom characters I'll have to show you guys as well. Our Matthias is definitely not the only phantom. I have Jean, I have a couple others, EA, Yasiv, a couple different names I'll just throw out there. Some of my oldest characters, in fact, ironically, are phantoms. Characters that I've just had for an exponentially long time, like years, so I think it kind of fits that they ended up becoming phantoms in my story. They were all originally ghosts, but like I said, a lot of my characters have been retconned or changed throughout the years to fit the story as it's evolved a bit more. Their original roles wouldn't have been very interesting. I think like Dirthier used to be a very like chill character, and then he became evil, and then he was good, and then he became evil again. It was like he had a wild ride for sure. Yeah, I mean, some of the workers there, I mean, they know not to mess with Rose because she's also just incredibly powerful, but she's also not a phantom, so she like could very easily get defeated by a phantom. As slow moving as they are, like I said, they're the most powerful beings, even more powerful than any ghost. You just literally cannot beat a phantom in a fight. It's unheard of. And so, I mean, for sure, if someone wanted to gain up on a ghost like Rose, they would have a pretty easy time doing so because she's just not nearly as strong. So yeah, I really like the thought of Rose like pushing these people around, but also being pretty chill overall, like them being pretty chill with her because there's just like no reason to, because they know at like the tip of their fingertips lies like hundreds of years worth of crazy power. Yeah, you would have to be with a phantom for sure. There'd just be no other way. I'm extremely tired today, guys. I'm so sorry for my voice and lack of energy today. I am going on very little sleep, and I've been having a hard time sleeping. And I've also had a lot of energy kind of taken away from me today because just being around people all day kind of just zaps my energy. So I tend to be very tired in the afternoon, not just because it's the afternoon, but because like work or visiting people, I like doing it, and then I get home and then I'm like crashing from the social aspect of it, which is why I like spending a lot of free time at home or in quiet, and just to kind of re-energize myself. This sun charm, I absolutely love this. This has always been like, Ray's necklace has evolved a little bit to be like, used to have just the spikes and then I added the little sun because I think it's just really cute. I always kind of like smirk whenever I draw it, or not smirk, like haha, like I'm up to something, like like smile, I guess, because I find it to be funny. Smirk, the connotation of smirk being like oh yes, like I have something evil planned is just kind of funny to me. It's like the same thing as smile, but different connotations of the words can lead to different meanings. It's something I will never understand in language, but it is what it is. I am also got I believe I will have a video this Friday, in fact. I don't know why I said it like that. Indeed. I will have a video out this Friday. I believe it's that time to have a two-week video on Friday. I just have to decide which video is going to go out. I'm not 100% sure just yet. Yeah, for sure. That would be a potential reason for Ray having to ask Armathius for help. And that may even be the reason. We'll have to see for sure. But yeah, Armathius is a cool character too, because I like having characters who don't really have a side, that are just kind of neutral. I always like neutral characters. I feel like they add like a bit of like nuance to a situation. They can, in fact, I think characters like Armathius can even see the other side of the situation better. I feel like them not picking a side sometimes makes them a little bit less biased and more clear-headed to what to do. They'll give you way more blunt answers instead of emotionally charged answers, because not only are they phantoms, but in general, neutral characters are not going to take the side of the protagonist immediately, usually. They're usually going to want to know exactly what's going on. And that's kind of what Armathius does, like what's actually going on. Because he needs to hear the full story before he just blindly believes or takes the side of someone else. Once again, another aspect of neutral characters that I really enjoy. I think it adds some depth, and it's nice to have characters that aren't just completely on your side or completely bad either. There's definitely a lot of neutral characters in the story that have places. You'll also see the space traveling ghost soon too. They're pretty cool. They're a pretty cool bunch. They traveled through space and stuff. And yeah, I really like them. They're fun. They're fun to write. I love the sound of just the animal trotting in here. Gosh, I live with so many animals now, but I love them, so it's okay. Oh my gosh, but man, am I tired from them. Yeah, Armathius for sure, one of my favorite characters. I don't know why I keep bringing him up, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think of more things to discuss about my story. Sometimes I get a little brain foggy and I'm like, what to talk about? What to actually discuss? I don't know. I just kind of got a lot on my mind and a lot of story planning for sure. I just heard my puppy bark. Oh my gosh, she has such a cute little bark. It's like some of the cutest I've ever heard. I don't know if I'll have a short release tonight. I'm also thinking about that. I have a couple shorts I could release, but I'm not quite sure yet. I'll see how I feel after the stream, if I still decide to or not. Kind of just depends on like Wednesdays. I don't know how shorts do on Wednesdays, but I'll see. Oh, sorry. I totally missed that message. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, for him it would be a good thing, you know. Like we've talked about, Zach does believe he's doing a good thing to an extent. He really does believe he's a good person with good intentions and doing good things. But yeah, for him it would be kind of like a day of paradise. It would be good. But a lot of people would not see it that way. It's so obscenely loud. Hi, bear. Puppy getting a drink. It's so silly sounding. I'm sorry. That is like it's so silly. Oh my gosh, my cat's going through my wardrobe. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on. Like behind me, it's like a burning building. It's just like chaos. I love it. Yeah, it's for sure very apocalyptic. Apocalyptic for pretty much everyone except Zach, because I'll try not to spoil y'all with this video. I kinda did. Sorry. Alright. But yeah. Whoa. Holy crap. I am so sorry about the audio. I hope you guys can still hear me okay. I just noticed how high that audio was going on my OBS, so hopefully it didn't drown my voice out too much. I'm so sorry. I always hate having audio issues, and yet I always feel like I do. Like, I always feel like I end up running into some sort of issue. But yeah, for everyone else, basically the wormhole getting destroyed would cause massive calamity and damage to everything. So it's not exactly a good thing. But yeah, I definitely love the perspective of having characters that view a situation like that in completely different ways. It's kind of why I enjoy the writing of Zach a lot, because as much as I enjoy him as a character, he definitely is he definitely is. Lost my train of thought. Just don't mind me just rambling about something that I will literally never end up saying. So that's just me. Unfortunately, I just don't always speak very well. I'm sorry. For sure. I got a couple more things planned for Rose. A lot of her videos, the issues I'm having is running out of like exact ideas of what I want to do, because I know like what I want her character to be. I know exactly where I want her to be in the story, but I'm having trouble finding exact songs, because I have a couple lined up, but I'm having trouble finding exact songs and also like exact what do you say, like poses, and I guess I'm just having really bad art blocks still. And I think that for the most part it's become incredibly detrimental to a lot of my storytelling, and it's been really bad for a couple weeks now. I think I mentioned it on Monday where my art block has been just really bad, and so it's kind of preventing me from telling a lot of my complex stories because I just can't think of them right now. I'm not getting very much sleep, I'm incredibly tired, and that's not really anyone else's fault, but you know, I'm trying my best to continue to have and spark ideas. It's just that art block has been really bad, and anytime I do get a video idea that like I actually end up wanting to do, because I get tons of ideas, but it really depends on if I actually want to get them done or not, you know what I mean? Give me just a second, I'm gonna do a beer. Alright, I'm back. What was this? I definitely, even if I don't do a video of Rose soon, which is, you know, I'll just admit it's definitely a possibility, because like I said, I've just been having such bad blocks, video block, art block, basically idea block, and I've been really, like, stressed out about it, so yeah, I really definitely, hope that soon I can have a bit of a clear head and also have more energy for the streams. Like I said, I really want to be able to bring you guys videos and ideas, and some days are just hard. And sometimes I just can't think of any ideas, and, you know, hopefully soon I can have a little bit more time to adjust to things, adjust to changes, maybe get out of art block. Oh, welcome to the stream. Hello. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream where I talk about my art block right now and have I've been so tired. So I've been kind of having video block, unfortunately, but I'm working on a video right now, which makes me very happy. I'm finally happy to have another video idea. Ray's stories I don't have to think much about because they've been in planning for so long at this point. So I'm really happy to have a little bit more idea of what I want to do with Ray's story. And Rose's I'm still just going to have to think about for a while. I'll probably make an aftermath. It'll go a little bit into what happens after. I'll probably have maybe a fight scene too if I can. It would actually be really cool to have a fight scene. That would definitely take me a while, but I do plan on having a video afterwards, and I'll probably like list in the description just to let everyone know like whenever it's coming out, like this is a direct like sequel, I guess, or video after. But yeah, I definitely want to do that. I hit my mic! Sorry. I hit my mic, and then I didn't say anything, and then I hit my mic again. I'm so sorry. Ghost Combat's gonna be pretty complicated. Because, like I said, so many ghosts have so many different abilities, so it's gonna be hard to, like, pinpoint when I want their abilities to be in an action scene and when I want them to just do something a little bit less intense, you know what I mean? Hopefully I can create a really effective fight scene, though. I haven't really had many of those on my channel yet. In fact, I think really the only fight scene I had was in my Bones animatic, where Ray fought the cameras that were spying on him and his friends. I think that's really the closest thing I've had to a fight scene, besides the one with Rose and them in Poor and Fortunate Souls, but no one really fought. Like in my mind they fought back, but I didn't really portray it as much in the animatic, because a lot of the stuff I'm doing is just basic rough drafts of my story and things that I want to have happen, and actually will canonly happen for the most part. But Rose, I guess you could consider a fight scene a little bit. Maybe consider like the scene of Ray getting killed a fight scene, but you know, only to an extent. A lot of that's usually like one party is the one committing the violence, so it's kind of hard to really pinpoint if they're fight scenes. But I would say for sure Bones had a fight scene, so I'll have to improve my fight scene skills and work on those while I try to animate a lot more aspects of my story, because a lot of them do deal with fights. Like space out the story, or like maybe space out videos, is that what you mean? Either way, I do need to part of me also is unsure of how much of the story I want to reveal just yet, you know what I mean? Like, should I save some things for a grand reveal? Should I just go ahead and release them? What all aspects of my story do I want to show, and which aspects do I still want to keep secret? I've been kind of debating that for a while too, because part of me is just not sure. Like, I really want to be able to just release everything about my story, but at the same time there's things that I really want to keep close to the chest, because I just don't know if I want everything to be revealed, just in case I ever do get something going. But like, what if I also never do? And like, what if nothing ever happens? Putting pressure. Like, like making them pass out? I'm sorry, I always get kind of confused about things sometimes when people type, because I'm like, words can have like different meanings. I'm like, I'm not sure which meaning you're referring to, but I mean, the fights will have a lot of aspects. They'll probably have possession aspects. There will be aspects of people lifting things up, throwing it. Ghost obviously can, you know, be transparent and have things go through them, so they could immediately become transparent and have that happen. A lot of the aspects of them actually being ghosts I haven't shown yet, and I really want to, because I think it would be really nice and give a little bit more depth to them actually being ghosts, because I feel like I don't always, like I said, portray it as well as I want to. And so I really want to improve on this so people actually know that my characters are ghosts and not just like humans with weird powers, you know what I mean? Because that's kind of the vibe it gives off in a lot of my videos, and I'm trying to, rectify that by putting more effort in my drawings and in my videos to make it clear that my characters are ghosts. And I don't know, I think I did it good in some videos, I think I've been doing it okay in others, but overall I want to improve on it. I still am not satisfied, so I think I should continue to improve upon it so I can make sure that the audience is more aware that people are actually ghosts, because I feel like I just don't do a good enough job of portraying it. I don't know if I do a bad job, I just don't think it's as clear as I want it to be. In certain videos, like Graveyard, for example, I mean, it's pretty clear she's interacting with a ghost, but when they're actual ghosts on Novatau and they're talking with each other, are they really, like, can you really tell they're ghosts, you know? I would say most ghosts would be more annoyed with invisibility, because they'd be like, where'd you go? Where did you go? Like, you were just here, now you're gone. That would get very annoying very quickly. Because possession's a lot more of a scary thing, so I feel like people wouldn't be as annoyed as they would be terrified of it. But yeah, I definitely would really like to not have, or to have. I would like to have. I don't know why. My brain is toast today. It is like a fried egg being flipped on a pan. Because I don't know how to speak today. But I would really like to show more of stuff like that in my story and in general, my videos. I may even have a video about possession. I don't know yet. I think it would be a good thing to show, because I think it would help with the ghost aspect of my characters and showing that a bit more and making it more clear to the audience that these are clearly ghosts. And like I said, in a lot of my videos, it just doesn't come across too, like, obviously, I guess. I feel like if anyone was just watching them, it would just look like humans with powers, which, I mean, sort of. I mean, I want them to be known as ghosts, not just ghosts that look like humans, but it's been hard to do design-wise for me. I'm not sure why. I feel like it's usually like there's usually a set of things ghosts look like or they'll have, but for some reason I'm having trouble. I would say it's partially overpowered, but because of the fact that, like, a ghost could be so powerful that they could just, like, lift up an entire house. I mean, to me, that's pretty scary. Possession's pretty powerful, of course, but I also feel like some of the ghosts who are really good with the, like, not like telekinesis, but they're able to use their powers to lift things up. So more like, what would you call that? It's not really telekinesis. They're not doing it with their mind. They're doing it with their actual powers. So it's kind of hard to tell what to refer to that as. But basically, they can use their soul power to lift things up. And I feel like that's pretty scary. Because, like, imagine you're just, like, walking down the street and you see, like, a bus fly at you out of, like, nowhere. Like, I feel like if I was not already a ghost, I would be one before the bus hit me. I think I would be on the ground, passed out of, like, pure fear. Like, I would already be a ghost by then, before I even hit the ground. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on who you ask. I would find possession to be scary, but I would find it being more terrifying to find a ghost like Ray who can, like, throw cars around and stuff. I mean, that's pretty scary. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, I mean, once you have possession of someone in my lore, yeah, I mean, you can control them to do pretty much anything. I shouldn't even say pretty much. You can control them to do anything. It's like you're in their body. I should say straight up, you can control them to do anything. with the exception of what's ever limited to their body, of course, because of like you can't force a ghost who doesn't know how to like use their soul power to use their soul power. So doing it on a common person who likely doesn't even use their soul power for anything but like lifting up their coffee mug when they're going to work or something, like, you know. And I already know there's a couple of questions there too, like, wait, ghosts work? Wait, ghosts drink coffee? Why do they need caffeine? They're ghosts. They're already dead. They don't feel tired, do they? Well, no. Some ghosts just like the taste of coffee. Well, why do they have jobs? Well, it's still a planet with resources and materials and said coffee to drink. So there has to be people who make that stuff, right? So just food for thought. There's definitely a lot of plot holes that I've wrangled and wrestled out of my story. And there will constantly be plot holes as I'm developing my story. To keep that in mind. So if you ever hear something and you're like, wait a second, that doesn't really make any sense. Why would a ghost need to do that? I will be like, oh, shoot. Well, I need to fix that now, don't I? And figure out how that will make sense of my story. Because the whole part of story writing is you're never really finished. Like, you're never really finished until you actually have, like, a full story. You know, like Lord of the Rings or something. And even Lord of the Rings, you know, you can keep adding on to the world building. You can keep adding on to the story forever. You could technically infinitely add to a story. I hope that doesn't happen with my story and I'm not, like, 80 years old going, like, Armadius. Like, you know, in, like, an old person voice, you know. I'll probably still be rambling about Ghost Mask by the time I'm 80, honestly. Because it's just like, man, like, the story is my life. It's pretty much all I think about. I don't know if a ghost would ever necessarily get stuck, because eventually their own soul power would also tire out, because it also does take part of your soul power. Like, it still is part of endurance to possess people. You still have to learn it, and you still have to maintain it just like a soul power and just like invisibility. So you wouldn't be able to infinitely possess someone. You would have to constantly, like, possess them and then unpossess them and then, possess them and so on. You'd have to keep going back and forth because you would never have enough power. The worst thing going wrong would be completely destroying the person's soul body and then making them have to wait for their regeneration. That would take incredibly long. It takes, like, whenever a ghost has, like, something like an arm come off or something, their arm will take maybe, a couple weeks to come back. But if their whole body is destroyed, their whole soul body is destroyed, it takes months. Months. And for ghosts that are like phantoms, it would take years, because the older you are, the longer it also takes to regenerate. You can counter it. For sure, you can counter it. You can push the person out. You can force themselves to unpossess you. You can force them to basically leave, and you can then possess them. So for sure you can counter it. It's just very difficult because you also have to know what you're doing as a ghost, because they get inside your mind. The person that possesses you, they get inside your mind, they read your thoughts, they read what you're doing, what you're thinking, so they'll be able to kind of understand your next move. So it's incredibly difficult to counter. But like I said, you can't stay possessed forever. So even if it's horrific in the moment, eventually they have to leave. Like, they just have to. They've overstayed their welcome. Their soul powers will not last that long. Even phantoms. Even if phantoms wanted to, which most phantoms don't even do stuff like that. Like, a lot of them are actually pretty chill. There are some evil phantoms, of course, because there always will be, but there's plenty of phantoms that would never do something like that. But for the most part, you can counter it as long as you are strong enough and have the capabilities. And once again, even then, eventually eventually the person will leave, so you won't have to deal with them forever, I wonder if I should add that to the design or not. Yeah, I feel like if Zach looked out his window and just saw a car hurtling towards Souls of Paradise headquarters, he'd just be like, Yes, just another Tuesday. He'd probably be remarkably unfazed, honestly, considering all the things he's seen as a ghost. He'd be like, well, it happens. It happens, I guess. That would be my favorite aspect of ghosts, is just the chaos they can create. Like, you're telling me a ghost can just take an entire car and just throw it across the building and, like, hit other cars with it? Like, this is, like, some crazy stuff, you know what I mean? But it's very fun to write. Of course, in serious situations, it's not exactly good because, you've just hit someone with a car. It's not exactly a good thing, even in ghost culture, to hit people with things. Even if they're ghosts and they'd be able to, quote unquote survive it. I mean, they wouldn't die, of course. They wouldn't survive it because they're already dead. But there's also still laws. There is still laws in the afterlife, and hitting someone with a car is most definitely not a good thing or an okay thing to do. You would definitely be a little bit in some hot water, some heavy spaghetti for that. You get toasted for it, man. I mean, they'd be at your door. Like, open up. I don't know why I don't know why that was a tangent. Once again, I am so sleep deprived. It's not even funny how sleep deprived I am. Oh, music. Hello? Oh, there you are. You're just very quiet all of a sudden. I mean, he'd probably be way more angry if the laser machine blew up, because he'd have so many more problems. Gosh, why is this music making me feel so emotional? This is like almost nostalgic. Yeah, that's just how my life is going right now. You like my galaxy screen though? Beautiful galaxy. Oh my god, look at that lag on my mouse. Holy crap. That was cool. I'm thinking one of these streams I'm gonna have to stop drawing and just do a BuzzFeed quiz for fun or something, or I don't know, play Tetris, because I feel like I am so burnt out on drawing right now, and burnt out from art block, that every time I go draw, I feel disgusted. I'm like, oh man, don't worry, I will take breaks, you guys, don't worry. I always take breaks. And I think I'm in much need of a break from art for maybe a couple days. But once I take my break, I'll probably stream maybe stuff that's not related to drawing, just to get myself away from it for a little bit, But don't overwork yourself. Never overwork yourself. I have pushed myself a lot, and I don't think it's healthy at all. It's never healthy to push yourself. So remember to take breaks. So stretch out your art hands. I don't have a webcam, but I'm stretching my hands out. You gotta stretch your art hands. You gotta keep them healthy, keep them happy, Take breaks from art, take breaks from drawing. Please don't draw 23 hours a day. Even if it's your job, you should always take breaks. I wish art was my job sometimes, but I enjoy what else I do, and I enjoy, doing art as a hobby instead. I think that it is good and fun, and, it maybe it's a good thing to not have it constantly as something you have to do for a living, because there's a lot less stress involved when you get to just do it for yourself, and it can also get very stressful being in the industry as well. There's definitely a lot of horror stories about that. Oh, for sure. I feel like every meeting with Zach and Ray would just be the Spider-Man meme where they point at each other and are just like, it's you! Because they haven't, in the story canonically, they have not seen each other since Ray died. At the start of the story, the last time Ray actually talks to Zach is when he died. That's the last time, is when he was begging for his life, which is really, really, really sad. And really messed up. And that's kind of why Ray, doesn't want anything to really do with him at first, until he realizes that he doesn't want to just let it go. he wants to find Zach. He wants to at least ask him, like, why, and figure out what he meant when he said he would see him again. Because he's like, well, does that mean Zach was a ghost? Because when Ray died, he did not know Zach was a ghost. He did not know that. Oh, for sure. For sure. But yeah, when Ray died, he did not know Zach was a ghost. In fact, even when Ray was in the afterlife for a long time, he really did not know Zach was actually a ghost. It's not for a while that he doesn't figure it out, but yeah, he just genuinely did not know. And Zach used that to his advantage, of course, because he knew if he told Ray he was a ghost and stuff, there would be like all these questions. And I mean, at the end of the day, you could rationalize Zach could have told him, but ultimately he knew that no matter what he told Ray, he still wouldn't be okay with death. Which is why he didn't want to really reveal too much, because he wanted Ray to be safe before he destroyed the wormhole. So that's why he killed him, In his eyes, he was doing something good. But in Ray's eyes, you killed him. You killed him. He didn't like that. That's not a good thing to do. That's not something that a good person does in any context. Like, defending yourself, one thing, yes, but like, in this context, no. He was still a very bad person, so once again, definitely not defending Zach. He's very, very bad. But in his eyes, he always thinks he's in the right. Once again, no. Like, if I was Ray, I would be like, man, I would never want to see him again. But eventually he does want to see Zach again for a different reason entirely, and it's not a good reason, but I will get more on that later. Okay, we're already at 40 minutes, people. It is fair to say that I will wrap it up. That 40 minutes went by really fast. But yeah, wrapping it up. I'm glad I was able to do another stream for you guys after Monday's was cut really short. But I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This Friday, having a video come out. Either today or tomorrow, I'll have a short come out too. A little short, a little mini, little cupcake for the cake. People eat cupcakes before cake? I don't know. I would eat a cupcake before cake too, because I just love sweets, but that's just me. I don't know if you're supposed to eat a cupcake before you eat a slice of cake. Some people would say that's too much. Me, I just really, really love cupcakes. Yeah, I mean, that's actually a pretty good assumption. I mean, Ray would lose his temper. He's completely betrayed by his best friend. In his eyes, he was doing nothing but evil. And in Zach's eyes, he was trying to make the situation better. Once again, we all know how that turned out. But, yeah. I will go ahead and wrap up before it gets too much later. Really thank you guys for watching. I had fun discussing a bit more of my story, and of course, having another stream this week. Hopefully streams will continue on Mondays. Heads up though, I may change it to Wednesdays. I've been thinking about it. I may start streaming only on Wednesdays. I'll probably make an announcement Monday. I'll probably do at least one last stream on Monday for you guys, and then probably start switching to Wednesdays. I think that would be better because I work Mondays, and I think having it on a day where I don't work would be nice. Because I feel like I would have a bit more energy. But I also don't have any energy today just because I have not gotten sleep. But once I start getting more sleep, I think that will also help too. And yeah, just be a really fun stream. But yeah, I really thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good night. I'll go ahead and end the stream, and have fun, enjoy the rest of your day, and as always, stay safe, and then join me for Friday where I upload another video, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun Friday. It even kind of matches, like a fun Friday. Must be why Fridays are off. Like, usually the day that everyone gets off for the weekend. Fun Friday. I don't know. I'm so loopy. But, yeah. Have a good night, you guys. I will see you guys Friday with a new video. Thank you for joining. Next Wednesday, like I said, I'll probably end up doing it on Monday instead of Wednesday unless something comes up. But for now, stream is actually next Monday. And then probably after that, it'll be on Wednesday. Sorry for switching it around so much. I think this would be better. For my streaming habits and I think it would be better to have an odd day off where there's maybe not as much going on in the day. So yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. I think I'll go next Monday will be probably the last live stream of Monday, and then I'll start doing it on Wednesdays. And eventually I'll probably take a stream break, maybe a couple weeks. I'll let you guys know ahead of time, just to kind of have a break from streaming. But yeah, I will let you guys know, and I will be updating you guys on my community posts. I don't post on Twitter anymore. I'm about to delete it, so don't follow me on Twitter anymore, because I'm about to delete it.